All right, hope you're all having a nice weekend. We're doing bonus video market update number two. And so what I'm doing here is I'm taking a couple requests because one of the I don't believe it was a member. I believe it was just one of the subscribers of the channel had mentioned IWM, made a great point about IWM being a better proxy for some of the things like the miners. And so it's a great point. And so I'm going to include more IWM in the analysis. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. So here we are with IWM, and this is the count as I'd drawn it back in the spring. Um, and so it's following the count pretty well, pretty close, right? And so from a you know how I do things. I do things from three perspectives, right? Wyckoff, Elliott wave, trend analysis. This is a daily chart. We got a nice, I mean, you could call that a spring, you could call that a last point of support. It doesn't matter, right? Essentially, what we had was, a dive into an area of that didn't breach the, selling climax, okay? And we had a strong reaction on that. So technically it's not a spring, but last point of support. Either way, led to jumping of this creek, the long-term downtrend. That's impulsive. Most certainly is impulsive when you get into RSI on the daily over 70. And so we completed what I consider this, first impulsive leg, flat correction, A, B, C. And now we're working towards, one flat correction, two, and then I think we're working on, completing this three up here in the form of right now we're working on another flat correction, A, B, running flat, C. That's how I'm interpreting this on a low time frame. What gives me what gives me hints that this is a flat correction in the context of an uptrend? Well, I look at RSI for that. What would you expect to see in a flat type of correction in RSI? You'd expect to see either a bullish divergence or a hidden divergence. Those are the things I look for. And so what do we see here? We see price making a higher low. We see RSI making a lower low on the daily. That's textbook. And this is probabilities. None of this stuff is certainties, right? Running flat corrective type movement where this is a three, this could be forming a four, or four could be in, and we still have one more leg to go for five to complete this three. And proportionately would make a lot of sense with this impulsive leg into three, right, to come out of there and hit, potentially even higher than my target. So 259, 260 into the year end with that type of move. The seasonality lines up. The miners have been bleeding the last 5 days, but really on lower volume and haven't made material lows in the context of their uptrends, just making higher lows. And so IWM here looks fantastic to me, folks. That's the opinion right now. IWM looks fantastic. I'm looking for this 3-4 to resolve itself much higher prior to a larger degree correction that could, start sometime in late January, last into February, which also aligns with the way I'm looking at Bitcoin. After if and when this impulsive move and looks to be confirming, I'm going to get into that on some member videos this afternoon or later this morning, more low time frame speculation. But that's how IWM is looking to me. It's very constructive. Amazon, one of the members you'd requested, so I'm just going to put it here. Amazon is looking strong. This is a weekly chart. Forget counts, forget everything else we know. Just two principles in trend analysis for me, right? Is whenever this 30-week, we got a attempt, last point of support, breakout, little retest here, and then out, and then you get a stab back in. The next time we got the stab back in was how long? Let me see here. In terms of number of days, this one was 196 days. This one was 280 days, so that's even greater in time. for those of you that have been following me and have been doing this on the members videos a lot, the shorter and shorter in time as you progress in price action and the more challenges you get of that 30 week as they get shorter in time, the closer you potentially are to distribution. The wider the time frame gets as you move further out, potentially the earlier or midpoint of a larger wave expansive move you could be in. And so that's the read here is potentially we have another fairly large explosive leg that could take us, let's just say 200 days before challenging of this 30 week again. And let's just say that, kind of comes up to here. So I could easily see a vertical accumulation here, vertical accumulation, with some volatility, and then, something like that into the spring. That would align with the timing cycles. That would align with what RSI is telling us. Just got into the 70 on the weekly. That doesn't mean it's going parabolic here, right? When we got into 70 on the weekly here, we went through vertical accumulation for another couple months. When we got into 70 here, 2 weeks later, you had a correction that didn't challenge the 30 week, but then it resumed higher. And so the short-term path is anybody's guess. I'm not here to try to project that on something I don't cover very often. I'm just here to tell you what I see on the higher time frame, and I see a powerful trend emerging. I see all positive signs. After a big 2 week move like this, some type of vertical consolidation would be warranted, right? A vertical accumulation. You could see a spike up, flush down, but just some type of vertical accumulation would make a lot of sense here to me. So that's the way we're looking at Amazon. I hope you're all having a great weekend. Take care.